let's start pre-filling some forms. But first we're going to ask why. Why should you pre-fill a form? First off, here's some form results. So these are 3 results that have come in through your form. And here on the done, here's the people I need to fill my form out. But you'll notice there's a formula and only Sally Sal is marking as done. And we'll look at that real fast. It's just saying go into the form results table, filter it, or find the rows where the name is the same as the name. For George, it's pretty clear, right? He spelled his name wrong, right? So let's add an O, and we'll see him show up. But what about Frankie Frank, right? And I see this happen all the time in forms. People are just odd, and they do things like Frankie Frank added an extra space after his name, which makes those 2 values not the same. We delete that, and now you're good, right? So how do we avoid that? Pre-filling forms will allow us to avoid messy data. The other things that pre-filling forms will allow us to do is kind of hide information, I'll get into that more later, that you don't want people to see. So we're gonna be able to fill out the group, cool group, lame group, and okay group without them seeing that. So let's go to our steps. First, what you're gonna do to pre-fill a form is go to your form and go to the form settings. That's under publish form. Press that. Here, I have published it already, but now I'm gonna go to privacy, and you need to ensure that you are including hidden columns for URL parameters. That's what you're gonna need to do. We'll turn that on for the fun of it. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna show you how to construct the URL. How are we actually gonna take information and put it into this link? So let's copy that link first of all. And notice that if we do that, we're going to open up a tab that looks like this. It's gonna look like this. Right, thoughts on the new program, name, people can put whatever they want, email, they can put whatever they want, thoughts, and here's the group. So we're gonna change a little bit of things about this, and we're gonna pre-fill these fields. So first all we have to do is we have to ensure that this group is hidden, right? Because we're gonna fill that, but we want it hidden. That's why we had privacy settings for including hidden columns. What we're gonna do next is we're gonna copy the link, and we're gonna go construct our URL. So that's what we're gonna do over here. We're gonna give that to each individual person needs a unique link, right? Because they're gonna need a link with their name, they're gonna need a link with their name and their email. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna put my link here first, I'll paste it there, and I'll see this is called public form link. So now under unique form link, we're gonna construct it using the format formula. You're gonna use bracketed numbers to give individual information. And so in that information, I want number 1, and then what I want in the first space is my public form link. You'll see how the first argument fills public form. If I give it a second argument, whatever I put after public form, after a comma, will fill in there, like the word dog. You'll see dog heads to the end. Obviously we don't want that, but we're gonna start filling this form with different pieces of information. When you want to add information, you add a question mark to the very end of your form. That's basically saying, hey, add some extra information. And the information I want to add is, and so now we're gonna tell it what we want to add. We wanted to add the name column is equal to, we're gonna say in the name column, I want you to put, and that's where we're gonna put our number 2. And then we're gonna say, and I want you to do some more stuff. And that is that in the email column, I want you to put some specific information. And don't forget these and signs in between. In the group column, notice that I'm just taking these are matching the names of my column. Name to name, email to email, group to group. It's equal to number 4. Boom. All right, so now in the second spot, I want the name. In the third spot, I want the email. In the fourth spot, I want the group. All right, so let's look at what our thing looks like. If I'm gonna unwrap this, you are not done yet. Notice how here we have Georgie George email. Notice how there's a space in between there, right? Georgie George has a space. If I go up to my URL up here, you'll notice that there are no spaces. URLs cannot have spaces, and there's other characters that they can't include either. So what we're gonna have to do is for each of these pieces, we're gonna add a encode for URL. Notice how it puts Georgie %20 George. It's replacing every space in there with a %20 sign. You don't need to worry about the %20. You just need to know that encode for URL knows what a URL should look like, and it's going to translate your values to match that. So now let's go to encode these as well. And let's go encode this as well. All right, here we go. Now we're going to unwrap this and we're going to see if it works, see if we have any bugs. Let's go open that now. GeorgieGeorge.com. Real fast, you'll notice something though. If you go up here, you can see that he's in the cool group. So if you really are concerned about privacy, know that somebody can potentially see that they're in the cool group. But what they won't be able to see is the other options. So they can know they're in the cool group, but they don't even know a lame group exists because they don't see those options. But we'll put in this, these are my thoughts. Submit it, and let's see if it pulls in. You'll see there's Georgie George. You'll see there's his email. He's in the cool group, and these are my thoughts that came through. So that's how you pre-fill Coda forms.